Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Simplified Basic Concepts. In this video, I am going to explain the project and matrix organizational structure. In my previous videos, I have explained about line organizational structure, line and staff organizational structure, functional organizational structure, and divisional organizational structure. So let's begin. Project organizational structure and matrix organizational structure are also part of modern type of organizational structure in which functional and divisional organizational structure too comes, right? So a project organizational structure is a structure in which a project is created as a separate unit or division within a permanent functional structure. Now, just a brush up of the concept once again before going into details. We know that in organization, when the tasks, roles, responsibilities, departments of the people working are arranged in an order, that gives rise to organizational structure, right? So we have learned about the different ways in which an organization could structure itself. Now, this is project organizational structure. Here, the structuring of the organization is done on the basis of projects which the organization has, right? So here, on the basis of project, a separate unit or division is created in the organization within the permanent functional structure. I know it must be confusing, so let's go to the functional organizational structure once. Now, this is the diagrammatic representation of functional organizational structure. So here we see at the top management there is CEO, and then at the middle management level there are different functional managers, that is marketing manager, finance manager, production manager, and HR manager. And under each departmental manager there are its employees, right? So this is functional organizational structure where the organization is structured on the basis of job functions in the organization. Now, the project organizational structure says that along with these permanent functional organizational structure, there are projects on the basis of which organizational structuring is done. That is, the project organizational structure will look like this. Here, at the top management, there is CEO. Then, as we saw in the functional organizational structure, the departmentation is done on the basis of the job functions. Now, this is permanent functional structure which the organization will have, right? There will be production department, research department, finance department, and marketing department. And the projects which the organization has, based on that, the organizational structuring is done. So here we have two projects, project 1 and project 2, which is headed by the project manager of the first group and project manager of the second group. And people from here in the project organizational structure, people from each department will be taken, right? So in a project, if people from production department, research department, finance department, and marketing department is required, so each employee will be taken from these functional departments and will be working under the project manager, as we can see in this diagram, that the employee from product department has come in the production group, and from the research department has come in the research group, from the finance department has come in the finance group, and so is in the case of marketing group, right? And all these employees are working under the project manager. They are all reporting to the project manager. They have no link with their departmental managers. There's no arrow between the production department and this production group, right? Which means that there is no reporting of the employees working here in the project group to the job functional departments, right? Same is in the case of project 2, right? Again, employees from production department, research department, finance department, and marketing department are working, and they all are reporting to the project manager, and they have no link with their own departments, that is production department. So this is project organization structure, where in an organization the structuring is done on the basis of projects, right? And the employees from different departments come and work here. They report to their project manager, and they have no link with their own job function department. Clear? Let's go into the theoretical part. In project organizational structure, a team of specialist workers are drawn from the functional structure of the organization to work on a project. This we saw in the diagram. Now, the project team functions under the leadership of project manager, right? During the continuance of the project, the functional managers give up their authority over the subordinates in favor of the project manager. This is what I was talking about, that when an employee is working in the project group, then he has no reporting to his own departmental manager. So here an employee from the production department has come and he is working in a project, so he'll be reporting to the project manager. He will not report anything to the production department, right? So the production manager will have no authority over the employee who is working in the project group, right? When the project is over, the project team is disbanded. Then the project is over, its objective is achieved, so the work of the project team is disbanded or over, and the team personnels go back to their respective functional departments, right? So what happens when I was explaining, here we see that people are from employees from production group is here, research department is here, finance department is here, and marketing department is here, and they all are working upon a project, right? So when the objective of this project is over, that is the project is over, so these employees will go back to their own department. So the employee from the production group will go to the production department, the employee from the research group will go back to the research department, and same in the case of finance and marketing, they'll go back to finance department and marketing department, right? So in this way, this whole structure will be over. The project group is over, these employees will go back to their own departments, and again they will start reporting to their production manager or research manager. That is, again they will start reporting to their departmental managers, right? In many organizations it happens that when one project team's work is over, that team is given a new project. So at times it may happen that the employee from the project doesn't go back to their respective functional departments, but they are sent to new projects. And the size of the project team varies from one project to another. That is, depending upon the project, the number of personnel or employees will be taken from the functional department. If the project is small, so there will be a smaller team. If the project is big, then more number of employees will be required, so the team will be big. The project requires quick decisions and actions, and the flow of information is lateral and not vertical, right? So lateral means, we saw here that the flow of information is lateral. It's not vertical, it's not upright, right? It's lateral, right? Till now we saw in all the organizational structures that flow of information, flow of authority, everything was upright. That is, from top management to the middle level management, then to the lower level management. But in project structure we see that the communication, the authority flow, everything is lateral. It's sideways, this way, right? From the project manager to the employees working at it. It's not from the top management. So this is the difference between project organizational structure and the other organizational structure which we have studied till now. This is what actually the project organizational structure looks like if we will remove the permanent functional departments, right? So here what we are seeing is there is the top management under whom there are 3 project managers. Now again here there are permanent functional departments, right? But I have not shown it here because these permanent functional departments have no authority over the employees working in this organization, right? So for the time being, when an employee is working for a project, he will be reporting to the project manager, which is shown here. So under the general manager comes the project manager A, B and C, and under the project manager who are working for project A comes the employees like design engineer, accountant, marketer. Now this accountant is from accounts department, this marketer is from marketing department, and design engineer is from engineering department. So all these employees have come from different department. They are specialists in their work and their job is required to complete this project. That's why they are part of this project and are working under this project manager. So this is the main concept of project organizational structure. Now we see here that in project B, IT specialist and test engineers are only required. So only these type of employees are taken from their respective organization and they are working on the project B and reporting to the project manager, right? Same is in the case of project C. Here this project's requirement is manufacturing engineering and risk manager. Now all these projects are different from one another. That is why their requirement of employee and knowledge is different, right? We see here design engineer is required, in project B IT specialist is required, and in project C manufacturing engineering is required. So based on the requirement, the employees are taken from the permanent functional departments and they start working for a project, and for the time being while they are working on the project, they report to the project manager, and when this project is over, either they are given or shifted to a new project or they go back and join their permanent functional department, right? Now what are the advantages of project organization? This organization provides a logical approach to large projects with definite beginning, end and clearly defined results. Now in case an organization has 2 to 3 types of projects, so rather than mixing up the employees from different functional departments, it is good to demarcate or divide the organization on the basis of projects and put employees under it, right? Because when this is done, there will be a very clear objective definition for the employees, for the organization also, and everybody who are working in the organization will be clear what is their role, whom they have to report, and what are their objectives and goals to achieve. That is why this is a very logical approach when there are large number of projects in an organization. Now second is the team members report directly to the project managers here. So the line of authority is very clear, which reduces the conflict and decision making is faster and flexible, right? So here the reporting structure is very clear. The team members from different departments are reporting to the project manager, because the project manager is the person who has the best knowledge about the project. So rather than reporting to the departmental managers who have got least knowledge about the project, it's better to directly report to the project manager, because he is the person who has the best knowledge about the project and he will be the best person to judge whether the project is moving in right direction or not. So when this is done, the conflict between the project manager, departmental managers are reduced. The employees here are following unity of command because they are reporting only to one superior. They don't have to go and report to 2 superiors, right? That is why decision making is also very fast and flexible over here. And third is a single reporting system helps shortening the communication lines and creates effective communication within the team. Now here in project organizational structure, we see that the employees are from different departments. They all are not from same departments, right? So it is very important that there should be a very effective communication between the team members. So when the communication line is very strong and they have to directly report to the project manager, then the communication part becomes very strong among the employees working in the project and between the project manager or project leader and their teams. which is very helpful for the project to flourish and grow in the right direction. Being the single authority or the only authority, project managers can make quick decisions and complete the projects faster, right? And the team members are very flexible due to working on different projects. Now, as I explained earlier, that it is not necessary that when one project is over, the employees of that project will go back to their own functional department. It can happen that when one project is over, those employees are put on new projects. Now, when once an employee has got an idea of working in a project, he has got expertise to work in projects. So these type of team members are very flexible and they have got an idea of working on different projects. So this is one of the advantage of project organizational structure. Now, disadvantages of project organizational structure. There is organizational uncertainty because the project manager has to deal with professionals drawn from different departments. Now, this is again one of the problem because here the employees are from different departments. They have got different skills, different knowledge, and one project manager has to deal with all these employees who are from different departments. So this at times poses problem for the manager. And second is organizational uncertainties may lead to interdepartmental conflicts. Right now, organizational uncertainties as in about the projects, whether the projects will be long lasting or the projects, if doesn't complete on time or is stopped in between, then what will happen. So this at times lead to dissatisfaction among the employees working on the projects and also to interdepartmental conflicts. And there is a considerable fear among personnel that the completion of the project result in loss of their job, right? So the employees at time can feel that once their project on which they are working, if that is over, then maybe they'll not be shifted back permanent department, rather they may end up losing their job. Right, so this feeling of insecurity may create considerable worry about the career progress of an employee. Now, the project always have deadlines and very tight schedules, which can make the work environment very stressful, right? Then the other disadvantage is the cost of employees and equipments can be higher because they are being hired for shorter period. The employees who are working on projects and the equipments which are hired for a particular project will have to be paid a higher cost rather than the one which are working in normal conditions. So this may increase the cost of the organization on a whole. Then the last one is the employees may not be highly skilled in a particular area because they work on so many different projects. This may affect the quality of project. So this is one of the advantage that it may happen that if an employee from production department is kept on rotating on different projects, then in that run he may have got an idea to work on different projects, but it can happen that he may forget the main production skills which he would have if he would have worked in the production department for a long time. I mean, this can happen. So the employees may at times be not highly skilled in a particular area. So this can directly affect the quality of the project in which he works. Right. So this was all about the project organizational structure. The matrix organizational structure is also called as grid organizational structure or hybrid organizational structure. Hybrid means mixture. This is not a pure organizational structure. It is a mixture or combination of two types of organizational structure. Right. Here two forms of organizational structures are used, mixed and made a matrix form of organizational structure. Now this form of organizational structure is suitable for large and complex organization which requires flexibility and technically oriented structure. So here there is a combination of two complementary structures. One is functional department and the other is pure project structure. So here an employee will have two reporting authorities, the functional departmental manager and the project manager. So here we see the difference between the project organizational structure and matrix organizational structure. In project organizational structure, there was only one reporting manager for the employees. However, in matrix organizational structure, there are two reporting authorities. In project organizational structure, the functional departmental managers had no authority on the employees who were working in the project. But here this is not so. Here the functional departmental manager will have equal authority on the employees as the project manager will have, right? Now this is diagrammatic representation of matrix organizational structure. Here at the top management is the CEO. Now this production, finance, marketing and HR, these are the departments, and the departmental managers are here, right? And they all have authority on the employees who are working on project, right? And the projects here are project A, project B, project C and project D, which are headed by the project manager. Now an employee who is working under a project for project A, right? So here there are employees from production department, finance department, marketing department and HR department. So all these employees will have to report to the project manager and also to their respective departmental managers. So for the production executive, his bosses will be project manager and the production manager. For the finance executive who is working in the project A, he will report to the project manager and the finance manager. For marketing executive, his reporting bosses will be marketing manager who is his departmental head and the project manager who is his project head. And same is in the case of HR executive. His departmental head will be HR manager. He will also report to his project manager. Here the organizational structure is in a form of grid, right, where there are employees reporting to two authorities at a time, right? So the functional department creates a vertical chain of command while the project team forms a horizontal chain of command. Now we see here that this is the functional department headed by the departmental heads. So these all forms the vertical chain of command. Vertical means standing upright. So this is the vertical chain of command. And the project manager forms the horizontal chain of command on the employees under them. In this structure, group of employees from various departments come together to form another group assigned to a particular project. So we saw this, that here for a project A, the employees from production department, finance department, marketing department and HR department are here. So these employees from different departments have come here to complete the project A or to work in project A under the project manager. Now they are headed by a project manager who directly reports to the CEO. At the same time, these employees also report to their departmental managers or departmental heads. The functional structure here is a permanent feature of the matrix organization, and the project departments are created whenever there is specific projects which requires high degree of technical skills and other resources for a temporary period. Right? So whenever there is a requirement of very skilled technical skills, then these projects are created. The advantages of matrix organization. Now the advantages of matrix organization. This organizational structure helps to focus attention, talent and resources on single project individually and facilitates better planning and control. So whenever there is a separate project created in an organization to work on, it obviously facilitates better planning and control, right? The second is it is more flexible than the traditional functional structures. So the matrix organization is far better than the functional organizational structure because here a particular focus is being put on separate projects. That is, these projects can work individually and there is a better scope of planning and control when separate projects are being created under the leadership of project managers. Then this provides an environment in which professionals can test their competence and make maximum contributions. So again, this type of organizational structure gives ample scope that is enough of scope to the professionals who are working in the organization to enhance their skill, to show their skills. While working on the project, they can single-handedly show how skilled they are, right? This can help as a very big motivating factor for the employees working in the organization. So it provides motivation to the project staffs too, as they can focus directly on the completion of a particular project. This matrix organizational structure on a whole helps the organization to focus on the projects individually and get better planning and control done. The employees too are happy because they have got the scope to show their competence, show their skills, give maximum contribution, which motivates them to work in the organization. Now the disadvantages are, the very first disadvantage is it violates the unity of command. Unity of command simply says that there should be one superior to every subordinate. But here we can see there are two superiors to every subordinate or employee working in the organization. And who are those two superiors? One is the departmental manager, that is the functional head of every employee, and other is the project manager, right? Then second point is the scalar principle is violated here, and there is no fixed hierarchy, right? Scalar principle says that there is a top management, middle management, and lower level management where the information flows in, right? So the information flows from the top management to the middle management and then to the lower level management. But that is violated here because there is no fixed hierarchy, because one is from vertical chain of command and other is from horizontal chain of command, right? So it is violating scalar principle. The third is there may be conflicts because of heterogeneity of team members. So we see in a functional departments, that is in a production department, all the employees will be having the skills related to production, right? In HR department there will be similar type of people having similar skills, but in these matrix organization, different types of members from different groups, right? So there is a heterogeneity, there is no homogeneous team members, that is all the team members or all the employees working in a project are not from the same departments, they don't have same skills. So at times there may be conflicts because they won't have the similar understanding of each other's work. That's why conflict may arise. Then matrix organizational is expensive to maintain because of the dual management. We have seen that whenever there is a dual management, it becomes very costly and expensive to maintain. It may also lead to unhealthy competition between the managers when it comes to choosing of the employees. So now there are 10 employees working in the production department, 10 employees working in the HR departments, right? Now whenever there is a project, so 2 employees is required from the production department and 3 employees required from the HR department. Now how to choose from 10 employees those 2 employees of the production department who will be working in the projects? So now this can lead to unhealthy competition between the project manager and departmental managers as to who could be those 2 employees who can work on the project, because working on a project for an employee is an added advantage, because that employee will get lot of chances to show his skills, right? To show his skills. That's why at times this may lead to unhealthy competition between the managers, and also the employees who are not chosen for the projects may get dissatisfied. So these were the few of the disadvantages of matrix organizational structure. So with this we finished the organizational structure. So do like and subscribe my channel, which is Simplified Basic Concepts. Thank you.